In this LearnElectrics video, we'll look at a popular method of wiring lighting circuits from a few years ago, and one that is still in common use in many countries around the world. The two-wire method can be easily identified as shown in this video. Unlike other wiring methods, only two live wires are used for two-way or intermediate lighting. Although it does not appear in the on-site guide and similar books in the UK, it was, and still is, a very versatile wiring method. This method only requires a 2-plate plus earth sealing rose, although there is nothing wrong with using a 3-plate type. We just don't use the live loop terminals. In this video, the earth or CPC connections have been left off the drawings for clarity, but must be connected on actual circuits, and be aware that some older circuits may not have a CPC. Let's remind ourselves about one-way lighting, or, if you're new to the trade, a useful lesson for you. I just want us to be clear about how we should or should not connect the switches. There will be 3 terminals in a two-way switch, the common, L1 and L2. Different manufacturers will mark them differently, but the method is the same. In this example, the permanent line conductor goes to the common terminal of the switch and the switched line to the L1 terminal. With the switch in the position shown, common and L1 are connected, and 240 volts can make its way through the switch. Current flows from the consumer unit through the switch, along the switch wire to the sealing rose, through the lamp and back to the neutral terminal in the sealing rose, and then back to the consumer unit. The circuit is complete and the lamp lights up. If we operate the switch so that common and L2 are connected, this will break the circuit and stop the flow of current between common and L1. No current flows, so the lamp will turn off. Can we put the switched line into the L2 terminal instead of L1? Yes, we can. And now, when common and L2 are connected, the circuit is completed and the lamp turns on. With one-way switching, we can put the wires into the terminals more or less how we choose, but one of the wires must always be in the common terminal. For single switching, the common terminal can be used for the switched line or the permanent line, and the other wire can go into either the L1 or L2 terminals. Now we will look at two-way switching using the two-wire method. This is probably the simplest of the different methods that we will come across, and basic twin and earth cable can be used to make the connections between switches. This is two-wire two-way switching. You can see the permanent line leaves the consumer unit and goes to the common of the first switch. L1 on both switches are connected together, the yellow wire in this example, and the L2 terminals are connected by the blue wire. The switched line conductor leaves by the common of switch number 2 and is terminated at the switch block of the sealing rose. The neutral wire is terminated in the neutral block. One lamp lead is also connected into the switch block and the other lamp lead into the neutral block. If everything is connected correctly and the switch is in the correct position, current can flow through the lamp and the circuit is complete. Notice that we've put brown sleeving on the ends of the yellow and blue wires to show that these will be energized at 230 or 240 volts at some time. In older properties, you may come across sheathed singles, and the wiring may be all in red or black with a green CPC. It makes no difference, it's the same circuit layout. I find it easier to imagine the switches on their sides, as shown. Now, the wiring and the flow of electricity through the circuit is much easier to understand. PL, the permanent line, enters at the common terminal of switch X. Depending on the position of the switch, current can flow along the yellow or blue wire. In this example, it flows along the yellow wire and leaves switch Y by the common terminal, and then up the switched line or SL to the sealing rose. It goes through the lamp, back to the neutral block, and then to the neutral bar in the consumer unit. The circuit is complete, the lamp lights up. Now operate switch X on the left. With PL now connected to the blue wire at L2, there is no path for the current to flow to switch Y. Current flow stops and the lamp turns off. If we operate switch Y on the right, there is now a pathway from PL through switch X to the blue wire at L2, then through switch Y, out on the common and up to the ceiling rows on the switched line. The circuit can be completed all the way back to the consumer unit, so the lamp turns on. Operate switch X again, and this action breaks the circuit. No current flow, the lamp is off. And finally, switch Y again to bring us back to our starting position. Switches X and Y are now in the correct positions to allow current to flow, and the lamp lights up again. In this drawing, we've turned the switches back to their normal positions, as most people will draw them. This is exactly the same circuit layout as the previous slide. The more that you look at wiring drawings, all the different methods, the more familiar they will become, and the more that you will understand them. Now we can look at intermediate switching, sometimes called three-way switching, as lots of customers may want a third switch, but this method can be extended to four-way, five-way and more. Before we start, look at the switch options for an intermediate switch. It has 4 terminals made up of 2 inputs and 2 outputs. In one position, the switch will act as a straight-through connection. L1 connects to L3 and L2 connects to L4. Flick the switch and the outputs cross over. L1 connects to L4 and L2 connects to L3. Another feature of an intermediate switch is that it can be used as a replacement for a one-way switch and for a two-way switch, as shown on this drawing. Pause the video and take a moment to study it. Depending on how you connect the inputs and outputs, it is a very versatile switch. Let's use the intermediate switch now, and we've left the switches sideways on to help with following the flow of current through the circuit. In this starting state, current can flow into switch X, along the yellow wire to switch M, along the yellow wire to switch Y, and then up the switch wire to the ceiling rows. Then, through the lamp, back to the neutral at the ceiling rows, and then back to the neutral bar in the consumer unit. The circuit is complete, the lamp turns on. Operate switch X, and what happens? The voltage from PL, the permanent line, travels through X and along the blue wires through switch M and arrives at switch Y. And there it stops. It cannot get any further than switch Y. The circuit is broken, no current flows, and the lamp turns off. Now switch M can be changed. The voltage leaves switch X on the blue wire, enters switch M, where it is directed to the yellow wire. At switch Y, it can pass through the switch onto the switched line, or SL, and can complete the circuit. Current can flow through the wiring, and the lamp lights up. Now let's try switch Y. Always follow the voltage from where it enters the circuit. Entering switch X at PL, the voltage travels through the switch, along the blue wire to switch M, out of M on the yellow wire, and arrives at switch Y. The voltage can get no further. It cannot make the jump to the common terminal and the switched line conductor. The lamp goes out. Pause the video and visualize different switch settings. Any switch will make the lamp change state. I had this scenario in a care home a few years ago. One of the corridors gave access to 4 rooms. There was a light switch at each end of the corridor and just one lamp mounted centrally in the corridor. The customer wanted 2 more ceiling lamps, 3 in total, and 2 additional switches in the corridor placed closer to the room doors. The 2-wire system was already installed, and it made sense to reuse existing parts of the circuit. Let's look at this in stages. 4-way switching is simply a case of installing 2 intermediate switches between 2 two-way switches, as shown. Don't forget to continue the CPC through the switches, which is not shown on these drawings for clarity. There should be nothing difficult about adding these switches. Pause the video and follow the wiring. In this case, the lamp will be on. Now operate one of the intermediate switches. Pause the video, follow the circuit. There is no continuity and the lamp will turn off. Now operate any other switch and the lamp comes on again as the circuit continuity is restored. Now we can add the 2 extra ceiling roses. We will link the neutral to the first ceiling rose, then link to the second, and then to the third. Now link the switched line from the third ceiling rose to the second, then from the second to the first. Not forgetting the earth or CPC, of course, which has been left off for clarity. And here is the finished circuit. 4-way switching with 3 lamps using the 2-wire method. Every lighting circuit is simply just about passing electricity from the line at the consumer unit through the switches and lamps and back to the consumer unit on the neutral. In one position the lamps will be off, and in the next position they will turn on. That's all that we are doing. A quick summary then. 2-wire, 2-way switching is very simple. The permanent live must enter by the common of the first 2-way switch, and leave by the common of the second 2-way switch. Intermediate switching is achieved by installing one or more intermediate switches in between the 2 2-way switches. The outside switches must always be 2-way switches. To add extra ceiling roses, simply link the switched line terminals in series and then link the neutral terminals in series. Twin and earth cable can be used to make the links between the switches and between the ceiling roses, as long as the conductors are correctly colour-coded with sleeving where appropriate, and not forgetting the CPC connections. And before we go, a quick word on terminology for switches. Different names are used to describe different switch types all around the world. A one-way switch in the UK means that it will have only one input and one output. It can only send electricity along one wire. But some other parts of the world will call this a 2-way switch because it has 2 terminal holes. It has 2 ways, one for the input wire, one for the output wire. A 2-way switch in the UK has 1 input and 2 output ways. But in other parts of the world they call this 3 ways, 1 input way plus 2 output ways. You get the idea. Thank you for watching, it really is appreciated, and we hope that you found this video useful. We've now covered about 4 different types of wiring circuits in our recent videos, and you may come across any of these types in your work. Hopefully you are now a little better prepared, and do remember to safely isolate circuits before working on them. Please subscribe to our channel to get access to all of our videos, and remember to click on notify to be sure of not missing our next video. And you will find even more information, videos and help on our website at LearnElectrics.com. And don't forget that you can also type in LearnElectrics, all one word, into the YouTube search bar to go directly to our channel at any time from any computer. We are constantly adding new videos to our channel, so don't miss the next one. And once again, thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again very soon.